Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Aaron, and today I will be detailing the interior of this 2014 Mazda 6. So this car has been being used since it was bought new back in 2014 as a daily driver and a runaround. So it has been kinda lightly used in the interior. The leather's still pretty good. Nothing's too bad in here, but it could use a nice little detailing. There's some dust everywhere, and it could just be, it could use a nice little cleaning. So that's what I will be doing today. Got my products up here. I'll be using Turtle Wax Power Out Leather to treat the leather. Turtle Wax Dash and Glass to treat both the dash and the glass. This microfiber cloth will be used to kind of clean everything off, just make sure everything's off of it now that it just fell on the floor. But that will be used to wipe everything down. And then over here we have a vacuum and some carpet cleaner because there is a stain on the headliner. So we will be going through everything here, giving it a nice clean, and hopefully by the end you can pick up some new knowledge on this, learn how to clean and detail your own car, and see a big difference in the interior of this car. So before I get started, I'm just going to be clearing everything out of this interior, making sure there's nothing in the way of me cleaning it. So like everything in the door pockets, the seat pockets, center console, just everything will be taken out. Put it in a Tupperware container, I recommend, if you're doing it. And then you should have a clean environment, nothing in the way of you detailing your interior. So as you can see, everything has been taken out of this car. It has been completely stripped, even the floor mats have left. And it looks basically like a brand new car, except it needs to be detailed. So getting everything out of the car will help you to it helps to show what needs to be cleaned and what doesn't, and what are the biggest problems with the interior. So definitely do that before you go to clean, because it gives you a deeper look into the mess of a car interior after it's been used for 4 years. So it's a good idea to do that. And then next, how we're going to tackle it is basically we're going to take this vacuum. If you've got a vacuum, it's always good to start with that. Vacuum out any of the particles, like by the floor mats and in the seats and anywhere else that there are things that you're not going to be able to get with a cloth and some cleaner. So always find a good spot to park your car where there is an outlet. Around this wall we've got one, and we've got the vacuum. We'll hook that up, vacuum out the car, and move on to the next step. So now, see how we have these pedals over here? So we're going to be using a tip like this for the pedals to get around them and under them and make it look like there was never anything there. So let's get started with that. Another good tip to use when trying to get the little bits that aren't coming out, like little pieces of dust as you see in those pedals, would be this with the brush on the end, because it helps to scratch up items, especially in carpet, to help get them out. If there's anything ever caught in the seat, you always want to move it forward like this, and then you can get the tracks there, because they'll always have dirt in them. So there you go, we've got around the seat on this side. It's kind of better now, so under the seat, it will be easier to get that from a back angle when we're back there vacuuming, so we will move on to that next. So now we've got the floor mats out back here, so you can vacuum all the stuff caught under the seat, and then the floor mats can be vacuumed separately to make sure that everything is very clean. Alright, so now we've got all of that under the seat that we need to get out, so we'll bring the vacuum over. And now we are good to go. There you go. There's quite a noticeable difference now from before. And then obviously if you want to get every single piece of dirt out, you take more and more time to perfect it. I'm not going to show it all on camera because I don't want to bore you guys. I'll vacuum these mats then, get them all good, and then we will put them back in the back and we will move on to vacuuming the trunk. Something else we need to do before I forget is vacuum all in the cracks of the seats. They gather up a lot of dirt and dust and all that. I've laid out this one flat so I can get in every single surface, like in there and up here, and I can make sure everything is dirt free. Another spot you're going to want to get with the vacuum is in the door pockets. Now Mazda has these little mats that come out of them like that. So it's nice and easy to get in there and get all the stuff out that you're going to need to get out. But they also accumulate a lot of stuff. Another spot that accumulates a lot of stuff is the glove box. And the center console, not the glove box, accumulates a lot of junk and stuff from the stuff that you put in it. So make sure you get a vacuum, clean that out. And these actually accumulated a lot of dirt too, the ports, because they were left open. So I'm going to try to get as much as I can get out of the cigarette lighter and the USB port as well to make sure we get everything out of there, because that is not only dirty, it can also make them not work the same. So we want to make sure to get everything we can out of there so they work as good as new, and then keep the flaps in there down. Now you heard me misspoke back there. That's the center compartment. That's the glove box. I'm not going to be attempting the glove box today because it's got a lot of stuff in it, but you can use the same methods. I'm going to get the sides because they're dusty, but not like that. And I'm not going to go deep into it. But use the same technique, put a vacuum in there, get as much as you can get out, and then you can use a wipe or something to get the rest out. Now it's kind of hard to see with the second one, the bigger one, because it's so dark. But this one, we were able to pull out the carpeting or plastic in there with the vacuum, because it's kind of hard to get out with your fingers. It doesn't really come out. So that was good. So we will now clean those off. The compartments are nice and clean. We'll clean off these and get them back in there. So now we have finished vacuuming the left side of the car, the driver's side. But we have not done the right side yet, so you can see kind of a noticeable difference. I also did this center part and the center console. I see a noticeable difference over here. The center console, of course, looks much better than it did before. Next, I'm going to finish vacuuming all this, then we will move on to the trunk. So now I'm out here cleaning the rubber mats that were protecting the carpet, and as you can see, there's a difference between a clean one and one that has sand and dirt in it. So something that I recommend if you want to go into big detail and wash them, you can get a toothbrush, and that can help to get in these little cracks and really wipe out any of the dirt that's there and really help you make a shiny floor mat. Now I have the car backed up and we've got the trunk to vacuum. So if you really want to get detailed, you can lift up this and vacuum your spare tire. But I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just going to do all the carpets and all the other surfaces in there. They have a lot of sand in them because we've been using this car for the beach. So perfect time to clean it out. Alright, so there we go. Now we got a nice dirt-free carpet in our trunk. Alright, so now we are moving to the inner trim parts and dashboard. So for the door, we're going to use the dash and glass cleaner that will clean the plastic on here, and then for the leather material on there, we're going to use the leather spray. And then I've also got a microfiber cloth to wipe everything down. Alright, so how we're going to do this is by spraying the dashing glass onto our microfiber towel, and we will then wipe down the interior with that towel. This is to avoid overspray, so we don't get too much. Now there are multiple stains and scratches here and scuffs. Scuffs will come off nicely with this dashing glass, and the stains, you gotta put some effort into them, they'll come off. But scratches will not. Sadly, you're gonna have to do some work with the plastic to get them to come off. All these suntan lotion stains come right off with this. Just gotta put some effort into it. Get some more onto there. Some suntan lotion up here. Getting all the dust off from up there. Out. Everywhere that there's dust, it's good to get that cleaned out. So up in the door sills, right where the door closes, there's always dust and little crevices and stuff. Always a good spot to get that out. Up here, always along this, there's some dust. And then around the door handle, there's a lot of dust building up there. So that's always an important one. In the door handle and where the lock is, always very dusty. Get that nice shine back from your door handle after this. In where all the dials are, it always tends to be pretty dusty there. Dials and the buttons. These chrome pieces are nice to wipe down. Get a nice shine on them like it's brand new. Of course, in this pocket where we vacuumed before, dust accumulates there. The speaker is a good one to get scuffs on, so you always want to make sure that you're getting that cleaned. The time you spend here will show in the final results with how good everything looks. And since this is also a glass cleaner, we can then use it for the glass. So you get to use it, save some money on buying glass cleaner. This is a good product for that. And there we go. We got a nice, clean, brand new looking door panel. So now onto the leather treatment on the door panel. So for the leather on the door, we'll use Turtle Wax Power Leather. It's got a special brush meant to not hurt your leather, so it'll treat your leather nicely and will hopefully get any marks and scuffs out of it. So be careful, make sure not to go too fast with this. Just rubbing the leather. Now where there's spots where leather is cracking, that you can go into bigger detail with a steamer to clean your leather. Now I don't have a steamer, so I cannot do that with this leather, but if you have one, feel free to use that to clean your leather and treat it to help bring back the nice shine that it used to have. You use the cloth to wipe off any residue. That piece is now nice and shiny. It's looking better than it used to. Looking perfect. Feels nice and new. Now in the Florida hot sun, still feels hot, but it's good that it is feeling nice and looks new. So it works on white leather too. And like the other leather, make sure to take a cloth, wipe off any residue, anything that got onto the other material, the plastic here, make sure to wipe that off. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. That is it for this door. I will do the same for the other door, and then we will the other 4 doors, since this is a sedan, and then we will move on to the interior. Alright, so for the rest of the interior, it's going to be pretty straightforward. For things that are plastic, like the center console and the dash up there, we're going to use the dash cleaner, and then for things that are leather, like the seats, we'll use the leather cleaner, and then there is a spot on the headliner up there that needs to be cleaned out, and we have carpet cleaner for that, so we'll get that cleaned out. And then to finish it all off, I have Odorex to make sure the car smells as good as it looks. So alright guys, for the final stretch of this detailing job, time to go. Alrighty, so the plastic parts of the interior have been covered with dash cleaner and cleaned off. So now what we have to do is clean the leather back here, the leather seats and the backs of the front seats, with some leather cleaner. If you hear behind me, that is thunder. So I have limited time to finish this up, so let's go. To make sure to get deep into the leather to treat it, you want to do swirls and other movements. And you'll notice a film of darker foam on the top. That is all the oils coming out of the leather from people sitting in it and things being on it. So make sure to press really hard and firm but light at the same time, because you don't want to go too hard and ruin your leather. But you want to get those oils out. Wipe it all down. And there's a much more nicer white shade if you're using white leather. So that looks nice when you've got it all down, and it feels brand new. Compared to the other textures, it feels so much nicer. So I don't know if you can pick it up really on camera, but this is a lot more, like, it's not as shiny and it feels better. This is more shiny. That's a nicer white. That's more of a tan. So it really does work. Can't really catch on camera too much. I mean, you can kind of see the difference, but it feels so nice. You really have to be there to feel it. Definitely worth it. I'm going to finish up these back seats back here and then move on to the dash up there in the front seat. Another great thing we need to do is take all these from the pockets in the door and wash them, because they are full of dirt. So let's go do that now before we move on to the front. Alright guys, so since these are just rubber, we can just take them and wash them in the sink. and then just make sure they're dry before they go back into the car. And then we'll do that for the rest of them, even these big ones that can just come right off, and then we will pop them back in the car. Alright guys, so they are now dirt free and are still in the same condition as before, so just soap and water gets stuff out of rubber trays perfectly fine. You don't have to worry about any expensive cleaner for those. Okay, so for the front, we're going to start with the door sills again and then move to the seat. The door sills work a lot like the doors themselves when you're wiping it down. You want to just go along with the scuffs and just work the cloth into them to get them out, and try to work with the plastic to get all the scuffs and things you don't want in there out. So doing just that, and then the same with the seat with the buttons. Get all the dust out of there. There we go. Looking much better than before. So now we can treat the leather on this seat. For the seats, we're going to do what we did last time with the leather cleaner. We're going to put it in there, spray out, and swirl it around to work with the leather and get the oils out. Especially with the driver's seat, there's going to be a lot of oils because that's what's satin the most. So you want to take the most time with this seat to get everything out and make it look like it was brand new. Now the leather feels and looks much brighter, and it looks like something that hasn't been sat on as much and used as much. So now that the seats are done, we can move on to the dashboard and the steering wheel and the middle center console area. So that will be taking a lot of time with the whole dashboard having quite a layer of dust on it, and then the center console will probably be a big area where you want to slow down and get dust out of all the areas, especially where there are buttons. So for this we'll use the dashing glass, obviously, because we're cleaning the dashboard. And we'll start with the steering wheel. Now the steering wheel is made out of leather, but we cannot use the leather brush because of how it was made. So we will just lightly scrub it with the dashing glass. Make sure to get all the nice metal looking pieces without bumping your horn. Buttons. And you want to make sure the steering wheel feels good in the hands and is all nice and clean, not feeling sticky. You always want to get the badge really good because the badge is the most important part in telling what the car is from the inside. Now this car, if you didn't know, has paddle shifters in the back there. It will be a little hard because there's a lot of dust buildup behind them, so we're going to have to try our best to get all that out. I think the best idea for getting this behind the paddle shifters would probably be, if you really want to try, to get a fine like toothpick and kind of stick that back there in front of the cloth, so you got the cloth going back in there, but I do not have that with me currently, so I'm just going to try to get as much as I can with my fingers. Now we'll move on to what's over here. Always with all the wood and stuff, you want to make sure that's dust free, make that look all shiny. There's some buttons here. This is normally a scuffed area, but this looks pretty good. It doesn't really have too many scuffs on it. We've got a vent here. We want to try to shine up everything on the vent. We'll put the vents down like that, and that helps to get all the dust and stuff that gets into them, especially if you're not in a place like Florida where you use the AC all the time. You're gonna want to clean those out every now and then, because the next time you ever use those vents, it will just blow dust everywhere, and that's the last thing you want. So now, dust builds up really well behind the steering wheel because it's a flat surface. No one really cleans, so you always want to get that. Give that a nice little shine, like it's new plastic. And then there's the other paddle shifter and another stock. The stocks always build up a lot of dust around their sticks that come out. And while I'm here, I'll also get the spot around the gauges. And since this is also glass cleaner, you can also use it on the glass around the gauge. But this glass around the gauges, it's looking pretty clean, so I don't even think we'll need to get that. But so that's pretty much it for around the steering wheel. Everything's looking pretty shiny around that now. It's looking nice. So we're gonna move into more of the central area, and then at the end we'll get the top and everything. So this dashing glass is also safe for screens. So if you've got some dust on screens, you can use that too. Now this black shiny plastic around here is a big dust trap, so you wanna make sure you get it all in there to shine all that up. All the plastic around the screen is pretty prone for dust. So now the dashing glass, it doesn't get all the oils out of the screen. There's special screen cleaners if you want that. They're out there. Walmart sells them along with other major sellers. Make sure to shine all of this up. We've got cup holders up here. Just go around the base of them. We won't go too deep into them since they will be getting cups into them again. And they also have that nice material that you can take out. So if we ever wanted to clean those, you can take out the rubber again. But since we might be using this car pretty soon for drinks. So now we're going to just get the top of the cup holders. Make sure to shine all that up, along with other parts of this area. I think the center console area is probably the dirtiest out of all the things that we've cleaned so far, so I'm going to put a lot of detail into getting stuff out of here. There's a couple stains in there, get them out of the plastic. All around here, now around the parking brake. Now it does come undone if you want to unzip it and undo it. That gives you more access to using being able to get all the dust out of it, but not too much access, as you can see, just a bit of leeway. Try your best to get into all the little cracks because it really will show in the end. Now around the gear selector, that's a big spot for stuff to build up. Now there's stuff peeling underneath. That is not something that we can really get to without taking the trim off. That's just from sun and wear and tear. So pretty much you get the gist of it. You want to get all the cracks and stuff and make sure that everything's all shined up around here. I'm gonna finish up with this and then move on to the top of the dash where it's dust and we want to get all that off of there. The glove box gets a lot of scuffs on it from people coming in, so that's always a good spot to wipe down and get all the scuffs off. This is more of a slower paced, easygoing video. We didn't spend too much on the supplies. You can always go more and more with the supplies and get more of a clean, but that is up to you. If you want to do it more like a professional style, go for the more expensive stuff. But here we go. Now we're going to move to here. This is where the microfiber cloth is really good because it gets all the dust picked up. The wheel hump. Get all the dust out from the vents. and it's looking pretty good. I'm thinking that pretty much that looks like it'll be the best that we can do with the products we have. Now I'm gonna move on to try to get this stain out with the carpet stain remover, and then I'm gonna air out everything, put some odorant X into it. All right, so I got the carpet cleaner. We're gonna see if we can remove this. Gotta turn it on first. So we're basically just gonna, look right off. Perfect. So there's some more stuff up top. Comes off just about as easy. So you can see that the carpet cleaner works just as good. You don't need an auto carpet cleaner. Normal carpet cleaner gets the stains out of headliners and then the floor mats too. So with everything cleaned, it's looking pretty good. Now, this was a really fun time. I enjoyed getting to detail everything. It's looking pretty good now. So that was just with mainly 3 things: the leather cleaner, the dash cleaner, and the carpet cleaner. Got everything done pretty nice. Like, the seats have a nicer looking color. They feel better. They feel newer. All the black looks black. The scuffs are kind of gone. I'm glad I could do this. This is my grandparents' vehicle. They've been doing a lot for me lately. They've been taking us out fun places for the Florida vlogs. So, nice way to pay them back. Give them a nice detailing in their car. And now it's looking good. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna spray it with the Odor X now. Make it smell really good, and then we will be done. Spray this are in carpets and vents. So I'm thinking down here we'll spray some near the footwell. Get it on first. Spray. So we put it in places like carpet, so it gets in there and the scent stays, and then it says also spray it in the vents, so it kind of comes out along with. But I want to kind of get that wiped down then afterwards so it doesn't make streaks. So what's some other, so I'm probably going to just put, on the carpet. There's some more carpet in the back. I can spray it around. Spray it in those vents. And then the vents help to put it out when the air conditioning goes on. The carpet, it soaks in and smells like that for a longer time. Overall, it's a good combination and seems like it would work. But I'm gonna go wipe the vents down so they don't get streaked. But that's pretty much it. Alright guys, that's the video. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like. It kind of took a lot of time. I put some work into this video, so a like would make me feel really good. The car turned out really well, so if you guys enjoyed, like if you follow along, I hope your car turned out well too. And it took 3 products, so if you want to try those products out yourself, go ahead, give them a try. They work really well. Obviously, if you want to go deeper into it and get a better clean, you can get a steamer for the leather and a couple other products that go deeper and get more stuff out. So it just depends what you want for your car. It definitely looks better when you're driving in a clean car. It makes you feel better. The interiors are what you see the most with the car, so it's nice to see it clean. So if you guys enjoyed this video, you learned something, make sure to leave a like, subscribe for the next video. We'll be detailing that Honda over there, and hope maybe next year, if you guys like this video a lot and I get a lot of support with it, maybe next year I'll come back to the exterior, detail the outside of the cars. So if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.